Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 212A, the Tier 9 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the southeast spawn of Pearl River, and it's under the command of talon1958 of OLIMP. And yes, he's still in the contest to win the Weekend Lion. Angelina is in the lead at the moment, and she's got a pretty solid lead at that. Game on. 203mm howitzer, capable of 900 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armor, and with a burst radius of 10.4 meters. So it's got a very big footprint in terms of giving out stun, and stun is between 12.5 seconds and 28, depending on how well you hit them. This is the Arty that was to be made from the KV220 hull, but they never got around to actually building the KV220, so this Arty never got completed. Of course, the KV220, as you may know, was actually just a KV with extra armor. Well, he's aiming for the gap to the village, but it looks like a lot of enemy tanks have already made their way inside, but he fires around it. Oh, that was a direct hit on the Foch. Or is it the IS-32? I think it may have been the IS-32, and it splashed the Foch. But somebody took a direct hit, and I think it was the IS-32 now. 295 hit points. He's earned 445 with just one shot. Okay, he's backed up just a little to avoid counter battery. He is on the NA server, by the way, and yes, they are very hot on counter battery on that map. He's still moving. Well, he fired the round in, but I think he was still moving as he fired, and I think he felt that he was going to lose the chance, so he decided to fire anyway and looked away immediately, which I normally frown on, but on this instance I think he knew something was wrong, and so that shot did absolutely nothing. And that Foch has done absolutely nothing because he's now out the game. He got repeatedly hit in the viewfinder, and we got a bit of a rescue bloom there, so he's actually decided, well, he changed his aim, but then he goes back to the IS-32 and gets another direct hit for 276. Now, one of the good things about 212A is that you can use vents on this Arty, and that makes a big difference. Of course, the other Arty at tier 9 is, of course, the M53, M55, and you can use vents on that one too. Massively improves the skill of the crew. He was still reloading, so, and he lost sight of the barn. We call it the Hesh barn rather than the other thing that other people call it. I think he's going to try and splash yep, he did splash the Doom Turtle. Okay, these look good targets as well. He can splash kill the Batchat 25 ton. This is where I normally go to overhead mode to actually see, is it lined up with the Batchat. So the Batchat's pulled back into the courtyard for cover, but he's actually doesn't realise that he's now a perfect target for Talon. In fact, I think he moved away from that spot, but we'll have a look. Yes, he is still there, and in fact now he's a wreck. That was a beautiful shot, right on target. He guessed that the guy was going back to the same spot to shoot. Now he's going to hit an STB-1 in the rear. Now, if he's lucky, he will get a penetration shot because the STB rear is actually fairly light on armor. He's got a request to actually shoot at the Hesh barn. When somebody puts the big arrow above a target, they're saying, please fire at that target. Rounds out in the Hesh barn. Takes a long time for the shell to reach the target, 4 seconds, but he did get some stun assist after he got 186 of, 186 of actual damage, 436 of stun assist, and the Hesh barn has just gone down. So we're 5 tanks ahead of the enemy at the moment. Even though they captured the village in the center of the map, they're actually lost elsewhere. In fact, our guys are kind of pinned them in. Okay, Kampfpanzer 3. Took a long time for the shell to get there again. 4.1 seconds was the delay time, and the Kampfpanzer's been, well, he's been abused by 2 of our tanks, including an EBR 105. Enemy Waffenträger, well, he's gone. There's only 4 enemies left. 3 of those are inside the village, although they might escape. Going for the leopard. Rounds out. Looks good. Close. Very close. He's going to appear stunned on his next moment. Yet he was stunned. Okay, so we're changing position because we're going to have to shoot over that rock into the center of the courtyard. Okay, leopard 1. The other target's difficult. The leopard 1's the best target at the moment. Not when he pulls back behind that rock. This is going to be a difficult shot. Very difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if he decides not to shoot at all. Okay, he's going to go for the leopard. Rounds out. Oh, it was good. He did get some damage. Only 180, so near miss. But he did get stunned, and that forced the leopard to pull back. We can't hit their EBR 105. The leopard is now one shot, and he's gone. But we can hit this STB-1 as soon as we're reloaded. Still a few seconds away from reloading. Looks like he's going after our EBR. Oh, he's decided to demount the hill. Still got no shot on the EBR. We haven't got a shot on the STB either now. It's very difficult to get a shot at this level. Everyone's coming off the cliff to try and get shots. And in fact, we've lost one of our teammates. The EBR 105 crashed. So, Talon's changing position because, of course, the last remaining enemy is the enemy EBR, but we can't get a shot on him from this angle. Okay, he's going to see what he can do from here. Yes, he has got a solution, but he's waiting for it to dial in, I think. Well, or has he got a solution? No, he's got no reticule. So he's going to get closer. And that's it. The game is over. They've won. Here's the end of battle stats. And that was the second-class tanker for talon1958 in the 212A. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in that game. He managed to get 11. And he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate was 2,202, which is very good indeed. But sadly, this was only a second-class tanker, which means he got more experience or average experience than 80% of the players who played in the last 7 days. And Angelina on her last game set the lead at a first class, which is 95% of players. And funnily enough, it was in the 212A as well. She also got a bruiser medal and Confederate. So they matched on the bruisers and Confederates, but Angelina still holds the lead with a first class, whilst Talon is still lagging behind. So he's got a couple of days to try and figure it out and get a better result, possibly an ace tanker. That would certainly help a great deal because that will win the weekend line straight away. The only other way he can actually get a good result might be to go down a tier or a few and go to some of the lower tiers where you can actually get a first class tanker slightly easier, but you have to put in more effort, and it certainly means you have to pump out more shells to get a Gauze medal as well as Confederate. That might be what he could do to get the win. Anyway, let's see what he does when he sends this in his next replay. But let's look at the team score for this game. He didn't get the highest damage. That went to the EBR 105, and our team got a Confederate. Unfortunately, he also crashed, and he went out the game. 4,007 hit points of damage went to him. The second highest damage went to the Leopard 1, 3,444. And the third highest damage in the game actually went to the STB-1 on our team, 2,887. We can see that Talon got 2,184 hit points of damage, which puts him, well, above most of the enemy team. There's 3 members of the enemy team above him, and there's also 5 on his own team that are above him. So he's actually in 9th place when it comes to damage. Okay, when it comes to kills, though, it was the Object 268 version 4 and the Foch B. Both managed to get 3 kills apiece. 2 kills went to the EBR and also to the Leopard 1 on the enemy team. Talon only got the 1 kill in the game. When it came to base XP, It was the EBR who did the best with 920. Then Talon came second with 903 based on his XP, his Sun assist, I think. 894 went to the Object 430. He fired 9 rounds. Very low number of rounds, actually. Possibly could have got a better result if he'd actually been able to get that shot on the EBR, but he couldn't because the guy was hiding in a position where it was impossible to get a shot. 3 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, and 10 splash. Well, which one did he actually penetrate on this occasion? Was it the Batchat? Yes, it was. The tank that he actually wiped out completely. He actually penetrated and got that kill. He also got 2,184, as I mentioned, all of it at more than 300 meters, damaged 80 the enemy, killed 1, did 390 hit points of damage assistance, and 1,944 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. I suspect as well he will help himself to get an ace tanker if he can bump that score up to about 3,000 hit points of stun assist. The way to do that, obviously, is to try and stun enemy tanks that are in sight of your teammates, and then they've got an incentive to try and pump shells into it whilst they can. He earned a profit of 28,947 credits from the game, 2,709 XP, and he says, I'm trying. Well, yes, Angelina set a very good score to start with, which makes it very difficult for anyone to beat her. So, yes, I suspect that Angelina's going to get another lie-in this weekend after last week's win. So, yes, Talon had better get ready to making her breakfast on Sunday morning. I hope you enjoyed the replay. If you did, please give the video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it beats the algorithm. And thank you for watching.